Hello, viewer peoples! Today I will be discussing the topic of rituals. Woo! And I'll begin with this question. What in the heck do Mecca, Rumspringa, and Inipi all have in common? Now I know what you're thinking. Be not ashamed, my viewers, for I shall reveal all! First, we have the Islamic community. One of their most common and sacred rituals is praying toward this holy place called Mecca. Every day, 5 times a day, these people lay down their prayer rugs and pray in the direction of Mecca. For the record, this place is considered sacred to them because it was the birthplace of their religious founder, Muhammad. Yeah, there's a whole story about him and a cave and a revelation from God and all that good stuff, but basically all you need to know is he unified Arabia by way of Islam. Anyway, this prayer thing, Salah, they call it, it's kind of a big deal. It's their way of talking to and remembering God. You could say that they're knocking on the sky and listening to the sound. But on top of all that, it's their way of remembering to give thanks to Allah and submitting to His divine will. By performing this ritual, their faith is strengthened, and they are further removed from the social wrongdoings they are exposed to for the remainder of their day. And now for something completely different. Rumspringa! God bless you. No! Rumspringa! Rumspringa, meaning to jump around, is a time in which Amish teenagers from roughly 14 to 16 years of age can leave the Amish community and experience all things English. This can be anything from parties, drinking, drugs, music, video games, dating, movies, shaving, cell phones, zippers, anything they were raised away from. It's during this jump around that they are given the chance to decide between returning to their family and being baptized as an adult and true member of the Amish community, and living happily ever after. Yay! Or submitting to their selfish wants in the world away from home and being shunned by their family. But what's really cool about the jump around is that most of these kids come back to their families. But, seriously? We have better clothes and stuff. But think about it. Even though they thoroughly enjoy the products of the modern world, they must feel out of place. Imagine growing up in a place where your parents taught you that abstinence, modesty, and faith were the most pleasing things to God, held in the utmost. And then, at a certain age, your parents shooed you off and told you to go ahead and try all of those things that weren't those 3 things. It'd be a little mind-boggling. And then fun. And then kind of scary. Going home would be the best way to feel secure and fulfilled again. Utterly fascinating, I'd say. Sudden subject change! Inipi is the Cherokee ritual of purification. It takes place within a dome bent out of willow saplings and covered with animal hides called the Sweat Lodge. Now what's really nifty about this ritual is that everything! All of the elements that go into this ritual have a spiritual representation! The lodge itself, for instance, represents the re-entering of the womb of Mother Earth. There are heated rocks placed in the center of the lodge, as well as around the circumference. Rock number 1 is placed in the middle to represent Wankan Tonka, their almighty grandfather god of all, to mark the center of everything. Rocks 2, 3, 4, and 5 are placed in each of the 4 directions, north, south, east, and west. The opening to the lodge is opened 4 times during the ceremony, letting in the light to remind them of the 4 ages. They throw water on the heated rocks to create steam that fogs up the whole lodge, which represents the breath of life, the breath of Wankan Tonka. Then they smoke the pipe, which creates more steam that they can kind of waft over them to purify them. By smoking the pipe and participating in this ritual, they are attempting to create peace within themselves, among themselves, and among all other things. Birds! Plants, spirits they call star people. I think this is all super neat because they bring in everything, all of the four elements, which again is a representation of the interconnectedness. Everything has a purpose, a meaning, a lesson to learn, and a lesson to teach. By smoking the pipe, they're opening themselves up to the world that this great and powerful Wankan Tonka made for them. And at the same time, they're sweating. A lot. I know. But think about it. You're feeling all at one with the world and stuff, and you might feel a little icky on the surface, but that's just your body's physical way of getting all the bad stuff from inside to the outside. Bad things like hate, anger, violence, jealousy, sorrow. But just imagine how clean and pure you would feel coming out of that lodge and washing yourself off in a big, huge pool of cool water. All of your wrongs and problems literally pushed out of your body. My skin's getting all tingly just thinking about it. But isn't that awesome? Well, I think it's awesome. Anyway, short recap. Praying to Mecca because thanking God all the time is a good habit to have. Rumspringa, jump around, hoo-ha, because it gives you perspective. And nippy, smoking pipes, rocks, sweatiness, because of oneness, man. Back to my original question, what do they have in common? Oh, I think a better way to ask the question is, why were they originated? Well, praying is fulfilling an individual's need for guidance and reassurance. And doing things you've never done before is a learning experience. Fulfills an individual's need to explore, experiment, personalize, prioritize. Smoking isn't exactly a habit I'd encourage, but sweat ceremony fulfills an individual's need for righteousness, cleanliness. When a bunch of individuals do these things together, which they usually do, it strengthens a community. When two people have a common problem and do the same things to fulfill it and solve it, they are more inclined to work together to do so. Building a community. Bringing it all together. A package deal. However you phrase it, it's the way it happens. Because if you ask me, having a support system to help you out with your problems is much better than trying to figure them out on your own. Humans, we're social beings. It's proven time and time again through the ages. In order to live a fulfilling life, one needs someone other. A friend. A lover. A god even. Someone who gets you and makes life a little easier to live and handle. Religion and ritual, folks. These are simply pathways that guide you toward finding those connections. Well, that's all I got for you. Finito! Hope you enjoyed my little spiel. And, maybe I'll see you around. Maybe in the afterlife.